Hello, I'm pleased to be joined by Terry Smith from Fundsmith Equity Fund. So Terry, you've been buying some new positions for the fund this year. You've invested in stocks such as Essilor, Intuit and Zoetis. Why have you been buying into these companies and what is it that you really like about them?
We believe in a term which is a real word called obliquity, which is just try and buy really good companies at decent valuations and let them do the work, basically, not going, oh, well, I need something that's going to go up 100%, because what will happen is it will go down. So look, just briefly with each of the companies, we have owned Intuit before. It's the leading supplier of accounting software and tax software based in America. We sold it when they bought a thing called MailChimp, which is an online marketing business. It was outside their area of expertise in our view, and they paid about 3 times the right price. And we thought it was disastrous, and it has proved to be disastrous. I think the good news is, A, that's got into the share price, and B, I think they may have learned something from that, which is don't get outside your core responsibility and don't overpay. I mean, in particular, when they bought it and we said you're overpaying, they made that absolutely fatal error when talking to us of saying, yeah, but we're paying partly with our shares. Oh, so you think your shares are overvalued? Yes. You're paying. Tremendous. I always cite the example back in the .com of Vodafone bidding for management, and management was on a PE of 50, and when we talked to Vodafone, they said, yeah, we're on a PE of 52, so it doesn't matter. I think it matters to your shareholders, and then here we are 20 plus years later. Vodafone was 570 a share or something like that on the day when they bid for management. They're now 88p or something like that. That's what happens if you do things like that. So I think that that's all come home to roost, and we're buying back into that at the moment. We're buying EssilorLuxottica, which we've followed since the day of inception, but we've only owned it very recently. It's the leading maker and retailer of eyeglass lenses and frames in the world, basically. So in a pretty good business, you know, vision correction is not something that's got anything other than a secular growth trend for people. They're pretty innovative in terms of it, in terms of the lenses that deal with myopia now and help to stop that progressing. And of course, their big development at the moment are the meta glasses, which I think are a big leap forward, basically. They glasses which are using virtual reality and enable you to see things in the vision of the lens at the moment, which give you display, but also are likely to do other things. You're going to start looking at things and it's going to tell you things about it and recognize it. Because of course it goes over your ears, it'll also be able to put input into your ears, whether it's hearing assistance or whether it's translation. So I think this is, when you look at what they've done with Ray-Bans basically versus what Apple's done with its VR offering, it's fantastic in comparison. It's 1/10 of the price and wildly successful. So we've been buying it. Zoetis we've admired for a long time. We like investing in anything in the pet area, pet foods, veterinary diagnostics, in this case veterinary pharmaceuticals, because pet care, medical care for pets and feeding pets is on a growth trend. You know, we treat animals like we treat human beings now in terms of all of these things, better than we treat human beings in some respects. And Zoetis is the biggest veterinary pharmaceutical company out there. It's had a bit of a setback with one of its drugs that's got some side effects that people were worried about. As it so happens, my elder daughter is a veterinary surgeon, so she's my veterinary consultant. So I said, do you still prescribe this? Yes. It's got side effects, but it's very efficacious, and you know we know about the side effects, so we've been buying into that.
So obviously the share price of this company, it has been on a bit of a decline since last year. Is that actually an opportunity for you? You're able to buy in cheaply, or is that simply because of this drug that you've just mentioned?
Well, time will tell. But I mean, it's very typical that we will be buying into something when the share price is on a decline, not when it's going up. I mean, as it happens across those, I think you would say that we've got at the moment the Essilor has been going up about a third this year to date, whereas Zoetis is pretty weak because people have been worried about this. So we're continuing to buy more Zoetis than we are Essilor, because Essilor has taken off with all of the noise around the Meta Ray-Bans. Yeah.
Are you seeing lots more opportunities in the market now, or actually are you sort of storing up some cash like a war chest in case we get a market sell-off and then you've got a little shopping list?
We don't run cash. We don't try and market time in that regard. So we're pretty much fully invested. I've got minimal cash in the fund, but look, we've got things that are very liquid. In the event that there is a market sell-off, we've got things that we can sell pretty readily in order to make switching, and we have done that in the past. I mean, when we say, look, this has happened. You know, we sold all of our Clorox to buy a load of L'Oreal back in the day because L'Oreal was going through a bit of a depression because of a Betancourt family controlling shareholder problem, and Clorox have been bid for. Like, okay, we're out of one and into the other. It does happen, not all that often, but it does.